So here are my beets. And I'll show you how big they got. So this is what they look like. Now what you want to do is when you harvest your beets, you're going to cut off the stem, but you're going to leave some of the stem so they don't bleed out. So you're going to leave this much of the stem in. All right, I'm going to get to work and start harvesting these. I'm just leaving the stems here in the garden. They'll decompose and then I can till them up. Aren't they big? So the deer did not eat them this year, which is amazing. I have them growing all throughout my garden, so I'm going to show you different places that I have them because I thought I was going to have deer eat them, so I put them in these greenhouses, but the deer didn't touch them. I'm going to go ahead and harvest all these, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit inside the house, and then we'll get working on boiling them and peeling them and then canning them. All right, so the beets are all cooked. Now I've been doing this for over 30 years, and for me it works best to do this part outside. So for the recipe that I use, and it's been in my family for many years, we go ahead and we drain the water from the beets. Now some recipes call for the water of the beets, I don't. What we're going to do is we're going to take a hose and we're going to use the hose to cool down the beets. So we want the beets to be cooled, and then we're going to go ahead and take all the peelings, the skin off the beets. Now I have a lot of beets to can today, so this is going to take me a little while. All right. Then all we do is, we have an old bucket here, and we're just going to peel away all the peelings off the beets. Just like this. Now they're still really hot. If they're too hot to touch, then you just go ahead and you cool them down again. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take all the skins off all of these beets, and then we're going to put them in our jars, and then we're going to make harbored beets with them. So they're a pickled beet, and then we're going to can them. Beets can take a while. They're not a fast thing to can because it takes a lot of steps. There's a lot involved with it. Somewhat the same as tomatoes. You have to blanch them and cook them and get the skins off of them. All right, I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Now the beet skins we will put in the compost. everyone, now we're in the kitchen. So we have all of our beets cooked and sliced. Now we have to add the brine. The recipe I love using is a really simple one, and it comes from the River Brethren cookbook. River Brethren is a type of plain, they're not Mennonite, they're Brethren, but they're a lot like the Mennonite people. They dress plain. There are so many different branches of the Amish and the Mennonites. So these are River Brethren. Basically, it's pretty much the same beliefs. This is so simple, you don't really need me to write it down. All you have to do is take a note of it. It is 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of vinegar, and 4 cups of water, and 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to make probably a double. I'm not sure how much brine this is going to give me, so I'm just going to go ahead and do double of it. So let's put the sugar, the vinegar, and the water and the salt together. We're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to pour it onto our jars, and then we're going to can it. All right, I'll see you guys in just a minute. And then we'll pour it in our jars, and then I'm going to show you a new to me pressure canner. I've never used it before. I am going to pressure can these. You do not need to pressure can these, but if you have a pressure canner, you can set it to 5 pounds of pressure, and that would be the same pretty much as water bathing it. So I'm going to use the pressure canner only at 5 pounds pressure, and I think it says to can it for like 20 minutes. In fact, it doesn't even say it on here. I think I always just done it for 20 minutes. It just says pour it in the jars and seal. Generally, pickles and things like that are about 10 to 15 minutes. So I think I'm gonna go about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Let me get this on the stove, and then we'll finish up this project. All right, it does not come with a canning rack. You have to provide your own rack for it. So I found this one, and I'm going to use this. I'm going to pressure can these beets at 5 pounds of pressure. That way, I'm not over pressurizing them. These are pickled beets. So we are going to add 3 quarts of water to this. Then we're going to put our beets in, and then I'll show you how it works. Let's go ahead and put it on the stove, and let's see how well it pressurizes and what do I think of it. All right, the first batch is done, and I'm going to tell you right now, I love this canner. It builds pressure so fast. Absolutely love it. Yes, this is a canner I'm going to be using a lot. Now, it is smaller, and I don't have the right rack with it. You buy the rack separately. If I had the right, rack with it, I would be able to fit a couple more jars in it. But it builds up with pressure. It is a little smaller. It's great for somebody who wants to do pressure canning but doesn't want to do a large amount at one time. I absolutely love it. Has extra safety seals and valves on it. Amazing. I wasn't sure, but I'm gonna tell you, I love it. beets are finished. I love that canner. Absolutely highly recommend it. I have some homemade labels here that I'm going to use to put on the beets. Thanks for watching.